Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
Hey, good afternoon, America. This is Christopher Moss. I'm the host of the Energy Hour podcast, and today is a pretty unique show. Of course, we have our star here, Steve Lazerson.
Hi,
of
everybody.
Peak Finance. What's going on, Steve-O?
Oh, it's going good. It's summer. Summer's heating up, and the real estate and lending market's heating up, too.
You know, kids are out of school. Mom and dad's got to buy that house, get them plugged in, and on to the next year, right?
There you go.
Well, today is July 11th, and I said this last month, Steve. It was like June, whatever. And here we are. The month of July is half gone. I don't get it. Anyways, I'm going to say that probably till I'm expired. But, you know, time flies, right, when you're having fun, right? Today, we're blessed to have Jim Keller. Jim Keller doesn't have a title. He's like me. We're just people. I think, you know, you got a title, Steve. You're like the king of finance.
I'm just an
Hey,
LO.
you know, right. Hey, I ordered that Batman cape for you, by the way.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're going to have to wear the cape when you sit there next time.
It's hard for him to keep those headphones on with the ears, you know, the Batman ears.
I love it, man. Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Exactly.
You guys
Exactly.
are too funny.
So Jim does house flipping. He's been doing it for, I think, 2 lifetimes.
Oh, too long. But
At least too long, and he's
exactly.
very he's very adamant of what he does, and he's good at what he does, and you know, we're going to share some stories today about what he's doing, what's happening, what the future looks like. Maybe Steve can talk about some financing, and I can talk about that troll. I don't know. We'll just let you guys run the show.
There you go.
But hey, man, thanks, Jim, for coming in.
Well, hey, I really appreciate you guys having me in. I love real estate. I love talking about real estate. It's completely transformed my family, my children, my grandchildren. Just got back from New York, Washington, D.C. I was with my wife and my 2 daughters. One of their husbands and grandkids were there. We had an absolutely amazing time. And it's real estate. It's real estate. It's loans. It's purchasing. It's selling. It's afforded me a
All the
life
above.
that I love. Yeah, exactly.
So let me guess. You've been doing this for how many years?
Well, I've been actively doing this about 16, 17 years. But before that, I worked as a contractor. I worked as a loan officer. I worked as a real estate agent. So I've got a pretty, I failed at everything till I found something I was really great at.
Oh, give me a break. The good thing about that is the experience you got.
Oh, yeah.
From each one of those departments, right?
Oh, yeah,
Or
for sure.
industries. I think the fantastic part is you can't really replace experience with anything.
Oh, I'll tell you. Well, like this afternoon, a gentleman, calling, yelling, screaming at me, and and I do my best to keep my cool. But the reality is that I would expect a man who lost his house in foreclosure to he's either going to roll over and say, "I understand what date you want me out," or he's going to threaten to, have a guard dog bite my leg
Or
off.
6 attorneys lined up.
Exactly. Right? And what's funny that is I learned a long time ago, I say, no problem. My attorney is, and I give a name and a phone number, and I said, have your attorney call mine. Thank you
he'll
very
be
much.
in touch.
Have a good day. Exactly.
P.S. Put the keys under the mat, and then let's call it a day, right?
Yeah. So experience tells me that is exactly what it is, and it's just another day. And I come up here, and now I'm on the podcast. Super excited to talk.
Hopefully,
to you guys
he's going to listen to it.
Well, no, yeah, he won't.
That would be cold, man. But anyways, hey, it's all good things, right? Good thoughts.
Exactly.
And you're just in the business to be in the business.
Well, I mean, I would call myself a couple of years ago. I sort of retired. I sold most of everything. I went into some long-term income products, financial products. It's boring. It's not fun.
Are they working now?
I made money. I made money on them. I'm not. I haven't. My net worth has increased, not decreased. I'm happy with it. But the reality is I'm a doer, man. I like to get ink under my fingernails, and I want to go out and meet signers, and I want to consult with attorneys and try to figure out how to do this, that, and the other thing. And that's what makes me excited. And recently, my son-in-law, Omar, love the guy. He decided he wanted to get into this profession. He'd been telling me for a while he wanted to, and so now I have sort of like I have a friend.
Mini me.
Well, I mean, I was going to call him Robin to my Robin to my Batman.
Love it. I love
the
it.
point is it invigorates me, and the text I was sending to him right before I showed up here was, it's a pleasure to go into battle with you, because that's
so
what
cool.
we're doing, man. That's what we're doing.
You know what? That is such a refreshing statement to make to him, and it just shows him that, wow, somebody else has got my back. I'm not going in this alone, because going in this kind of business alone, you will get beat several hundred times.
Yeah, and what's the response? I mean, you hang your head, you say, yeah, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. And I've never felt successful talking like that. And I need, it's funny. I told them, hey, when we were talking about going out there today to get our cash for keys agreement signed, I said, yeah, if the guy yells and screams at us, we'll just go to a fabulously expensive lunch and call
it a day
and convince ourselves we're the masters of the universe.
Yeah,
that's my job.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
One of the things when I get into this process, you buy and hold, you do all kinds of things, but normally when we just purchase, we like to flip, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing, because if we can buy low and sell high, everybody's happy that week. So anyways, I like to do this, and I love to be aggressive with it. When I'm project managing jobs and stuff like that, I'm talking about loans, I get Steve or one of my, my floor guys or something. I'm all over it. I'm just not the guy. I don't know, Steve, maybe part of this is another life of mine, but I don't like sitting around eating bonbons. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I got to get in there and say, hey, what the hell did you just do with that 16D nail?
I love that.
I mean, am I right? I mean, you, me on the same page?
Why would you use a 16? That's an 8-penny nail job. Come on.
Finish nail, man. What's up with that,
No, I love it.
So that's what I'm doing here. And then the construction stuff that we do here at Quality Home Improvement Incorporated, we do solar, roofing, all the other junk, and, customers want to come in and buy stuff. And then, on some of these properties, we like to use our guys to go out and fix them because we can get a good price and stuff like that. I don't think I've been in the repair business, Steve, for the last 30 years. That's disgusting, isn't it?
It's a long time.
I mean, right? So I repurposed my brain. I no longer am in the trenches, but I'm in the trenches, right? Yeah. I'm at the job doing what we can. And today we're going to go out and pick some tile, some marble, and some beautiful laminate flooring.
And I love the creativity of something like that. Here we were in New York, and I'm
right. I mean,
I'm on my phone looking at my Pinterest, going, oh wow, look at this tile. This is an amazing tile.
That's an amazing tile.
We got to find a place to put this tile in, maybe our home or maybe the next house or whatever it is. And I love that aspect of it.
I totally agree, man. And you know what? We may collaborate on that. Maybe I can share some people with you that help your life a little better, and maybe you can share some things with me that makes my life a little better at the end of the day, right?
Well, that's what it's all about.
I mean, and Steve, this guy right here, I'm going to call him the orchestrator.
Oh, I like that.
Not only is he, you're almost Batman to me now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the cape's coming and everything else Steve does. Steve is the money guy. If you need to get solutions, HELOCs, whatever, this guy right here can help you get into this business if you focus.
And what's so great about having someone like that on your job is it makes you so free.
It's invaluable.
It just makes you free. Like I love the idea of going in and just saying, oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're over budget here. The idea that you could have somebody that could help you obtain this stuff. Hey, Steve.
Yes. Right? And it's comforting. And then, part of my people that are getting into the house flipping, we have this thing called House Flipping Academy.
Nice.
Part of these people that want to get the money to get to the ring, if you will, the ring of fire, I'm pushing them Steve's way.
Well,
at
least he's got a track record and he can get the job done.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, Steve-O.
Thanks.
So if your ears are always ringing Monday through Sunday and something's going on, it's not the lack of hearing. It's the lack of we're talking about you, right? So it's all good. So
come on, we're always talking about
right?
Steve, always.
Totally. One way or another, pal, we're always talking about you.
It's just about helping people better
like
their
that,
lives, get what they want, and show them how to get it financed.
Steve, how do we always say this? You know, you got people with a job. We all had one, right? We had to start somewhere. Steve's unique. He doesn't count in this discussion right now. Everybody has to have a job, right? Just over broke. Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
And they sit there, you know, I don't care if somebody's making $50 an hour. He's paying $60 an hour to do other things like mortgages, house payments. Hell, I get, my Tesla is $730 a month. And I put down $25,000.
Wow.
How is that even possible? Anyway, that's why Elon's the richest man on the planet. He takes advantage of people like me. But anyways, that being said, other people, they're trying to do this. It's a dual income status. And you know what? I firmly believe in this industry that we're in the next 2 years, there's going to be another shakeout.
Really?
I'm thinking that all these forbearances and loan modifications have already started 6 months ago or coming back to rest. And I've already seen it. Not to get off topic, the last house we bought, this guy was known as the godfather of insurance fraud.
Really?
Yeah, it was interesting. I like doing the backgrounds. I think I'm going to put a couple of their pictures up in here, like mugshots.
Oh, I like that, actually.
So this guy did $98 million of insurance fraud.
Oh, that's
And he
awesome.
went to jail for 54 years. So I guess he could make a house payment, right?
How much equity was he kind enough to give you when you purchased this?
Well, how about $400,000 to $500,000?
Yeah,
Thank
there
you very
go.
kindly.
There you go.
Right? So
sounds like a really nice guy.
yeah, I like him for that part, and I can't thank him enough. Thank you very kindly for coming into the picture. But he's going to be sitting in Sing Sing or Tehachapi or somewhere like that.
Exactly.
This is America. He'll probably get out in half. Good time, right?
Yeah.
Doing license plates or something. But he'll be 80 years old by the time he gets out.
Isn't that crazy?
And he had a professional chiropractor certificate.
Insurance fraud?
$98 million worth of it, and he ran 14 of it through his account. Let's just say he's in a place where he can't make those things happen.
I'm very familiar with these backstories, and
I love it, man.
Yeah, and what's funny is oftentimes when I'm in the public and I'm talking to whoever it is, my dentist. My dentist loves these stories.
Gotta be nice to him,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. but in the beginning, when I first met him, Dr. Jing was like,
I love it.
I think he sort of judged me, like, oh, you're doing this and it's bad, like you're taking advantage of these people. But the more I would come in and tell him stories of the $89 million fraud or something,
right?
It
makes sense.
It becomes clear actually what we're doing is we're cleaning up the countryside. We're making these deals. We're getting all this bad debt, all this bad stuff.
Cleaning the America one house at a time.
No,
and check this out. Talk to him next time you speak to him. Say, you're charging me $1,500 for this freaking crown? Seriously, dude? Who's ripping who off? But anyway, that's another story. Hey, Novocaine works, right?
Yeah,
think about it. I mean, I just want to put two and two together and bring it to reality. But the house flipping business, as far as I'm concerned, is alive. It's viable. And if you're not in it, I think you're stupid. Sorry.
No, I'm with you.
Call me, whatever you want. Judge me. But if you're not doing this, your marbles are somewhere else.
Well, so
Am I right?
I've got 2 transactions since January.
Oh, nice.
For over $890,000 in revenue. And I mean,
could you have made that working in corporate America?
Well, no, I mean, I would have, but
unless you're a crack dealer, maybe.
But I've been on maybe 4. I don't want to say vacations like my life is so simple, but yes, I just got back from a week on the East Coast. I'm leaving at the end a couple of weeks. We're going to go up north to a winery. We're going to go to the Blessing of the Grapes. Look at
this guy, Steve.
It's really fun.
My goodness.
I love the idea that I work my tail off. We use the law. We use what the good Lord gave us as far as knowledge to put this all together.
Affidavits.
There you go. And somehow we end up the winner on and it really doesn't take many deals. It takes, just like I said, we've got 2 right now going since January this year. And
listen, by the time those close, you could have went on 6 vacations, had enough money in your pocket, pay off. Well, you don't want to pay off your primary resident. You just want to pay that PITI job.
I got a good life. I don't need to make a lot of changes.
Right? Okay, yeah. I like that, man.
Yeah.
I want to be like you.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know, Steve.
It's all good.
It's all worth it, right?
Yes.
So if you in this network, this pocket, and I hear these stories all the time, don't do this. You know what I tell everybody? Listen, put your head down and push.
Well,
push, and you're going to find light at the end of that tunnel.
That's a very hard thing for people to see, because in this world we live in right now, people want it handed to them. They don't want. They would rather have an EBT. They would rather have an EBT card. They would rather the government help them out. And I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. And I hate to make it about that, but I see that it takes a lot of gumption to get up every morning and wake up at 6 o'clock, figure out what it is you're going to do, and then actually execute it. And then the next day do the same thing over and over and over. It's not easy to do.
No, it's not. And a lot of this social media is good and bad at the same time. Well, I think social media, everybody's done marketing, right? I've been ripped off so many times that I have this line that I have people call in on now. If you're going to rip me off, call that number and at least pat me on my head and tell me something good prior to getting my money. And I'm happy with that, right? It's a write-off. But anyways, you're right about these. And it's not just the millennials. It's the Gen Zs. It's all these, they feel entitled. And you don't worry about it. And in some cultures, mom and dad's going to take care of everything.
Well, I think, and a lot of these people, what they end up seeing is they end up saying that somehow they think we're doing bad. And I don't really understand it.
It's just hard work.
There's like a stigma. There's like a stigma that's put on it. Like you're doing something that's improper. And then I lay it all out, and I show them, oh, no, I spend a lot of money on going to an attorney and figuring out exactly, what line can we cross, what line do we need to stay away from.
The eviction process.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the reality is I just was on the phone today with an eviction attorney, and the paperwork in every county in Southern California, but LA County, it costs an extra $585 to work in Riverside County in Los Angeles County, because Los Angeles County is a very difficult county.
Yeah, it's one of the worst
people in, and
it's one of the worst.
And he knows it's gonna cost more, and it's just part of doing business. But it seems to me that we're protecting the wrong people. It's like the people that have the capital, the people that can provide a nice home, and it doesn't have to be some multi-million-dollar estate. I've actually probably made most of my money on simple little homes than in Riverside.
Short flips, man.
Yeah, I mean, you buy them, and they may have been completely ripped up, and we put $100,000 in them. But we buy for like maybe 160, we fix for 100, we sell for 385,000, or maybe we get lucky and sell for 410. We make $70,000 or $80,000, and you can do that.
And you pay your taxes up front, so you don't have to worry about it.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You're smart, so
yeah. I mean,
you and me in the same boat.
Yeah,
and it's all a matter of strategy. The strategies that we put into place, and sometimes you have to have a legal beagle. That my buddy Thomas Carter, he's in Montclair. He's like, and Peter Schaefer, he's my attorney friend at Riverside. So,
really?
I got some really good friends out there. And so you got to deal with Thomas Carter.
And they give you a lot of, I would call it backbone. And it's what I was saying to my son-in-law earlier today about wanting to go to battle with him, because that's how I see this. No one gives me credit for what I do. I'm not looking for it, but that was a hard lesson, because sometimes I would want to beat my chest and tell people what a great job we're doing. But the reality is that my brother-in-law doesn't want to hear that I just bought this house I bought a second mortgage for $170,000, and I'm going to take over a $500,000 first, and the property's worth $1.5 million. He just doesn't want to hear that I made twice the money he made. And he's going to work the whole rest of the year.
Working for a living, probably working 50, 60 hours, a week. And it's disgusting to him because, first and foremost, you got to have the will. Am I right?
Oh, for sure.
You got to get up I get up at 7:30 every day. Not because I'm getting older. Steve knows I'm 35, right? But anyways, I get up at 7:30, and I'm ready to go. I'm in my chair by 8:30. First thing I do is take care of my little stupid bills, and I make sure QuickBooks is cool and all the other things. And then I start checking on the projects. I start checking on them. I start checking on jobs coming in, and when eBay is going to deliver my comic book. Little stupid stuff like that, right?
Love those first editions.
Right? I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, there's not much in this room. It's probably worth about $50. But, at the end of the day is I really, and here's the issue. Sometimes I hate going home early because I feel non-productive. Have you felt that before?
Oh, yeah. No,
am I on the right track?
Well, as I was saying before,
are you going to be my new therapist?
I like it. As I was saying before about maybe like retiring or slowing down, it was difficult because it would be 4:00 and I'd find myself, something's on TV and it was embarrassing that I knew that it was on TV, and I realized in that moment I was like, I can't continue doing this. I'm gonna gain weight. I'm gonna gonna go to heck, So I completely understand what you're saying.
And I really, I'm an Aquarian, born in January. It doesn't mean anything. It means I like a lot of water, I guess. I'm full of water. But anyways, I have this drive. I don't know what it is. Everybody says I act like I'm 15. And, my opinions and my stories are on my shoulder. And if, I hate to say this, I got that from my mom. God rest her soul, maybe. That being said, but I like to say everything up front.
Well, that's beautiful.
And
listen, if they don't like it.
To some people don't like it, and I end up stepping on toes and getting in trouble sometime.
Really?
But you know what? At the end of the day, my soul is clear.
Well, there you go.
And I try to sleep good. But, I'm learning a methodology of, my mom used to say, my grandma used to say it too, and I have to follow this. If you got nothing good to say, don't say it.
Well, I like it. And when I was in a job, I tried to be a loan officer. I tried to do a lot of things, but I was really unhappy and I couldn't sleep. And I got to be honest with you, I wake up in the morning early. I like a morning meeting. And then I'm off to doing my work, and I like to meet people at 5:30, 6 o'clock for a drink. And it's usually someone I'm either trying to do business with or someone I have, and I can collaborate with them at another level. But it keeps me out of the house. It keeps me working. It keeps me pushing towards something. And I set a schedule for myself, and I think that's probably the one thing that's made me the most successful, because I stopped worrying about what anyone thinks about me. I just don't care anymore. If I don't care,
you just do you. But you're working your buns off for all these other gifts that you're getting throughout the year.
And I'm absolutely positive I say the wrong things, and I upset a lot of people, and my wife oftentimes cringes when I speak. But in the end, I don't have a problem with myself. I'm perfectly comfortable with it.
We talk about this sometimes. And some people believe in reincarnation. Listen, if I wake up in the next life and I'm doing something, then I'll believe. I'm not there yet, so I don't believe in all that stuff. But anything's possible, right? I believe there's a one shot, and you got to go out, man, with both barrels out.
Absolutely.
And you got to take down as many, we hit a boar 2 weeks ago.
Deals. I like deals.
I like that. Yeah. The D. I'm going to take the D out. Yeah. Bang. Jim's giving me another acronym. I like it. We're going to go shoot some deals.
So did you do some helicopter boar hunting? What are we talking about here?
No, I ran one over in a motorhome.
I love that.
It's a 2023 Mercedes Delano. It's a great little rig, right? We're going 70, and back east you can go 80. I'm afraid. I don't want to go 80. It's just not my thing. So all of a sudden we see this boar laying on its side, and I'm just like, here we go. You don't want to turn right or left really quick. You just got to mow through it, right?
Well, that's what the car was made for. Come
on, my
man.
goodness. It has anti-boar stuff on it, I guess. And
it's
then
a coating. You paid extra for that, I'm sure.
But we ran over him, and those things that level out your motorhome, one of them bent back. Really? So I'm like, well, we got to take it to Mercedes, get that fixed.
Somebody's got to do it.
I don't know. Yeah, it was a great. Still a great driving car, and I went boar hunting.
I want to do the actual boar hunting where you get in the helicopter, you
Yeah,
get your
right.
AR,
Catalina.
and you just go bam, bam.
Catalina Island.
It's very exciting to me. I would love to do it, but
I think Catalina, they just put you on a big bush and they say, run. But anyways, life is boar hunting, right?
Well,
so you and I shoot deals.
I like it.
We shoot opportunity. And, we have this one saying that Rob and I always talk about, everybody that I'm kind of in the circle with. If everybody comes to the table and eats, we all win.
Oh, there you go.
I don't like to see anybody come to any table and not eat.
Well, I mean, it's why I have Steve in my phone.
Hello?
Because I can call up Steve at any
Speed dial,
time
right?
and say, do it. Do
Steve.
this deal.
Do it,
Yeah.
Steve, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And you know what? This guy is so passionate about what he does. I think he's going to live to be 200.
Ooh, I like that. 200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Methuselah.
Methuselah. There you go. You don't look a day over 35, Steve.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
I'm saying all those jobs.
I
You're
have
not doing any fillers, are you? I'm just kidding.
That does look
We
like
love you, man.
Now look at that tan he has, though. That tan.
Is that a tanning booth?
Where were you at all weekend?
Exactly,
You look tan. What is
Steve.
that all
I,
about?
I was out in the sun.
Yes.
You went to Hawaii recently, right?
No,
Did you do that?
I was
Where
in
did you go?
Catalina.
Oh, well, that's
One of
just
those
as-
islands off the coast.
Yeah. I didn't shoot any boar, though.
Oh, yeah. He didn't shoot a deal.
Exactly.
But he gets deals every day. But anyways, that's another story, right, Steve?
Yeah, that's right.
So I think the business that we're in, if you're not somebody on this planet, at least in the United States of America, I don't know where any other place that you can make an exorbitant amount of money in a short period of time if you focus and you learn the methodology. You got the money, you learn how to shoot. You just put those deals in front of you. You pull the trigger.
And you get good people around you
Oh,
that you know
yeah.
that can execute. And I've
The execution part. You just become a good project manager after
there
that,
you
right?
go.
Am I
There you
right?
go. No, that's exactly.
So
it.
that's my title. I'm chief bottle washer and project manager.
Well, no, I mean you end up doing all of the little things that maybe don't get done, or there's always a new thing that needs to be done. But I loved what you were saying earlier about it doesn't matter what time you get up, but you have a strategy for dealing with your schedule, for knowing what you have to do, how you have to bring it in, what's important, all of these kind of things. It's what's missing, I think, in a lot of people's lives, and what I've been able to find out. And I'm not trying to sell you the truth of life here, but
I'll buy it.
But what it does is it makes me feel good about myself, and I'm able to look my wife in the eyes, and I'm able to, and she knows it, that I leave it all on the playing field. I'm not goofing around. She's not wondering. Well, she might be wondering where I'm at or what I'm doing, but it's not because I'm goofing around. It's because I'm focused. I'm intense. I'm looking for revenue. I'm trying to make my company great, or trying to figure out how I can start a new company with somebody else. That's what I do all the time, every day.
Steve, I'm
Yes.
talking cape for this guy as well.
Yeah.
Are you
yeah.
kidding me? He's a superstar.
I told you, Batman and Robin.
Here's what I'm gonna do, man. This is the God's honest truth. I'm gonna get pictures of our favorite enthusiastic, what do we call them? Just people that are full of energy. And you got to wear a cape when we take this picture, and I'm gonna have like mug shots. And I'm gonna point at people and say, "That guy right there, Jim Keller, Steve Lazerson, and Rob Mosakowski, and all the other guys that we deal with, Steve. They got to be in this book of winners, because without us, in some cases, society stops to move.
No,
Do you believe in that?
I absolutely believe in
Okay.
it, and I'll tell you right now,
Thank you,
got to
man.
have fun. You got to have fun. I want a cape. I want to take a picture like this.
I like Kato. Remember the Green Hornet?
yeah, there you go.
Do you want the Kato one?
Yeah,
You want the
wow.
you want the
The
things
little
for the
mask,
eyes?
yeah.
Oh, Bruce Lee. I'm getting his signature. I tell you about that, Steve. The Green Hornet.
Really?
I'll have it soon. I'll show it to you when we get it. But I want you to take a picture right next to Kato.
Okay.
And then you and me are going to do something. Let's start.
I'm ready.
That's what a great thing to do, really, if you think about it. Right?
I think that's really what we're here for.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove up today excited to meet all of you and tell my story. But the best part of it is that all of a sudden, boom, we find out, hey, maybe we have got something in common. We can actually do business, and you never know what happens out there.
I love it. So, hey, whatever you do out there in the house flipping business, do it times 10.
Absolutely.
Because there is, we were born and we're going to exit. And this is the book that I told Steve about. It says, "This is My Dash" by Christopher Moss. You know, you got a birth date and then you have a exit date. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, "This is My Dash" by Christopher Moss. And of course, I'm going to, talk about my kids.
Are your parents living?
My dad went a little while ago, and my mom went just recently, and and
so you lived it firsthand.
They've exited stage left,
Yeah.
and all I can say is it was an interesting experience until I reached 58, and then I started to grow up. Does that make sense?
Oh no. Welcome to the club. I'm glad you're here with me because
Right?
I know that exact feeling. My dad passed 5 years ago, and
It's a void.
watching his death and what it actually meant and who showed up and all of these things, things fell into perspective for me, and that's really when I realized that I'm here for me. And not like me. I want to be gracious to people. I want to be good to people. I want to be known as someone who is a giving, caring, loving human being. But I am able to offer that to everyone I work with because I'm tough. Because I'm tough as nails, and I'm going to make sure that what I set out to do gets done. And watching like my father pass enabled me to really see just how important it is that we get stuff done.
Not only important, how short this time is on this planet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, okay, so Dad's gone, and then cancer got them both, unfortunately.
Really?
I have good genes. I got my grandma's genes. She lived to be 103.
Wonderful.
I don't want to be 103. Give me 90.
I have a very good friend. He's 97 years old.
Wow.
I know him from the church. His name is Art. Art is
Get out of here.
I have breakfast with him every Friday.
I love it.
And you know what he does to me is he gives me I start telling him about a problem I'm having with my wife, or I start talking about the what we're doing here.
Yeah, Art chimes in.
And he somehow gives me a perspective that I had never even thought of, and then he tells me a story about how it happened to him, and then I say, "When did that happen, Art?" And he goes, "Oh, that was back in 73." And he starts telling me a story about
1822. That guy's a pioneer, right? At best.
Yeah, but it's great because what you realize is everything we're going through, every problem. Like if you're doing flips at the rate that you're talking about, I know that it's a pride swallowing up in the morning siege that's at your door, and you can look at that as, oh my gosh, my life is horrible, and what am I going to do? Or you can say, thank you, God, give me more because I can handle it. My shoulders are broad, and I can do it.
I like that. That's a great analogy. Yeah. And you know what? I try to put myself in the same perspective every single day.
Yeah, it's hard.
You got to get it done.
You do.
And you got to deal with the negative Nellies and all. And I'm not perfect by any means, and I can be a negative Nelly. I choke people up at certain times, and I like to get some in headlocks.
Well, there you go.
But life is too short, so you gotta. I like what you said in the beginning. You just got to sift through all that stuff, and just do you, and let the results come in.
Well, and what's going to happen is other people that are able to drink from that fire hose. Okay, other people that do great things. I'm meeting a friend at 4:30 this afternoon for a drink in Riverside, and he's someone that I would go into battle. He would be in my foxhole. He's someone that I know has my back, and I would rather spend more time with someone like that. It's why when Steve asked me to do this, I was like, of course I would do this. I know Steve to be a good guy in our club, and he does what he says he's going to do. And you should, not only do you need people like that, you should search them out. And then what happens is you get to meet other good people that end up making things that you never know what happens.
Steve, the analogy was just spectacular what he said. Should I get a fire hose for the office?
Oh, you need it.
You need a
hydrant with like a 5 foot long hose. And just, it's just the threat.
It's just a metaphor that you and I
time.
see it and say, oh, there's the fire hose
You got everything else in the place. Why not have a hydrant and a fire hose?
Because the reality is then every once in a while you got to bring a dog in so the dog will decorate it. Because that's our life. Our life is we're putting out fires, we're drinking from the fire hose, or the dogs are lifting their legs on us.
Somebody's
one or the other.
So, Steve, fire hose and 5 foot hose.
I like it.
Just like Jim said. So we're going to do it. Okay. I am so happy meeting a guy like you that has so much energy. And I'm so blessed that Steve brought this little network together. Again, I can't thank you enough, Steve.
You're welcome.
What you have told me already are the enthusiasms and the aspirations and the crow. We have to eat all the time. We have to celebrate. We have to do many things. You got to drink at 4, little silly things like that. And there's so many hours in a day. Here's the funny part. Out of 24 hours, you got to sleep for 8. So you've already been robbed, right? You got to regenerate your body. Mm-hmm. And then the other 8, you got to talk to crazy people like me and, you got to hang out and do what you got to do, right? And then there's 2+ hours. You got your phone talk. You've got maybe more. So at the end of the day, if you look at it, if you analyze 24 hours a day, you might have 90 minutes left to yourself. Okay. Here's what I like to do with my 90 minutes. Netflix, documentaries, and mint chip ice cream.
Mint chip?
I like mint chip and Rocky Road.
Yeah, I'm a pistachio.
Are you pistachio?
Pistachio and chocolate chip.
Oh, yeah. Rocky Road's good, too. Did I hit the nail on the head, Steve? Do you like doing the documentaries?
I do.
Currently, I'm doing the war with the bombs and stuff like that on Netflix. But anyways, I love history. So if you put any history in front of me, that's it. You're done.
Well, what's great is you hear about things and you're like, wow. This morning I was watching a documentary on the bomb in Hiroshima. And,
that was the one I want. That's the series I'm on right now.
It was absolutely awesome.
Genius. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's the best,
you just
right?
Hear things, and it was from a perspective of some of the people that were from
the Manhattan Project and Okinawa. Oh, yeah.
And you start to hear things that are actually going on or similar situations that are going on in your own life, and it's easy to see that there is a correct path. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and history will show that to you almost every time.
History, and it repeats itself, but if you follow that path in the beginning, you will be okay because you're on the path of existence, if you will.
I like it.
Just don't be a sheep in headlights or a deer in headlights and go, huh?
Yeah. Well,
someone's going to blow your head off.
Well, I love those sheep, and I love them a lot because
those are called foreclosures. Sorry.
Well, they're a great indicator for me. If I'm in the crowd of sheep or in the herd of cattle walking up the hillside, that's usually the wrong place for me. I operate on the outside. I operate from afar.
You're the guy that goes on the flank?
Yeah.
Are you the flank guy?
And if I'm the only guy out there, if I'm by myself or I have a couple of other warriors with me, and I'm down looking at the others as they're going to slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a place that is big profit dollars for
Napoleon
me. That's
did that.
what it is. Well, there you go.
Napoleon was a great strategist. There's a lot of people that don't like Napoleon, but he was probably one of the great war strategists on the planet. He would put, his the counterparts that he was fighting against, he would make them purposely walk on ice, and then he'd send cannonballs
Really?
and everybody would drown. I mean, this guy was just so smart. Just like the art of war, right?
I like it.
The art of war is similar to that, right? To where if you strategize your business the same, just like that, all these good books give us the guidance that we need.
Yeah.
Right? We just got to focus on that and then proceed.
And it seems like a great time to be that guy. Okay. That's the part that it really almost upsets me, and I don't want to talk like that, but Here we're over the airwaves here. We're talking about Steve, everyone's excuse is they don't have the money. So Steve can provide the money for you.
I don't think that's a good thing to use anymore as an excuse, right?
It's not. And I'm saying that why wouldn't you, if you are a W-2 employee and let's say you're a VP somewhere, you're making your $285,000 a year, you think you're rich, okay? And maybe you are. Maybe you are.
I don't know.
Maybe
it sounds pretty broke to me.
I didn't want to go there.
Taxes?
Exactly. But why wouldn't you make a plan? Like, this is exactly what your corporation is doing.
Yep.
The people you work for are planning on how to conquer the next thing. And what you should be doing is finding out, how do I buy that second home? How do I buy that fourplex? How do I buy something that creates income? So at the end of the day, you don't have to go to work every day.
Primary Americans, all they have to do is have their primary home. Get the point to where you can get a secondary home and let that rent pay your primary mortgage. Hint, hint, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I would say most of the clients that I see out there, a lot of the foreclosures that I go after, I mean, they have, I looked at one today that was
a doctor.
Wilshire Country Club, with this property was at. It's a first mortgage. It's selling for $620,000. Now it'll sell at the sale for probably $2 million because the house is worth $7 million.
Get out of here!
And this is the kind of.
You want to go get it? Let's go,
it goes
baby!
To sale tomorrow, man. Yeah, I'm just saying that this is the kind of strategy. And so what I do is I have a list of people that I work with that are money people that can write me a check for $1 million.
Nice.
Okay? And that's I don't have a security agreement because I don't own the home. You know, I don't own the home yet.
They have a general interest in the house, and you make a benefit when it sells.
Correct. So right? I took the home, I packaged it all up in my little picture, I sent it off to my people. Yeah, numbers like that get the phone to ring, and these guys call back, and I tell them, hey, don't worry about it, because they're like, well, it's tomorrow, and boy, I one guy made a joke, I can't collect $2.5 million but before tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I said, hey, no problem.
Just write a check.
I just want you to know that this deal is available, and you could take your $2 million and you could double it. And we could easily do that.
So on a case by case point, being this the one in Wilshire, you think we can get it for $2 million?
Well, I think we can get it for whatever the person we're competing against doesn't want to spend.
They owe the bank of the first so much money, right?
They owe the bank $620,000. It was a construction.
Why don't we just do a short sale?
Well, it's going to sale tomorrow. So
it's an auction?
So it's at auction.
Okay. Is this in Los Angeles?
This is in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's selling in Pomona at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I'll probably just go down there just because I want to see this.
Just to hang out and see what it goes for?
It's important for me, and I think it's important for everyone listening to this. You have to see success. You have to. One of the things that will make me, will make massive action in my life is if I see you, or if I see Steve, or if I see somebody else making loans or buying properties and making millions of dollars, I've got no excuses. I can't wake up in the morning and say, oh, I wish I would have done that. I really wish I can't do
Happens,
it.
Right?
I can't. My life can't run that way. Otherwise, I'm unhappy. So I need to see it happen. And if it's not me, I'll walk up and congratulate the guy. Hey, good job. And I'll shake his hand, and I'll actually try to get a phone number from him, because if he's already doing it, I want to be his buddy. I want to be his friend, man.
Well, that's great, man. I admire you for doing that, but I have a poker game.
Oh, I like it.
And if I'm at the auction, I'm in your head.
Well, there you go.
And you get a guy bidding for $1,000. I'll go plus $1.
Yeah.
I'll just irritate him so much. And I'll say, hey, look at my tattoos. I'm a prisoner. Yeah. Hello, I'm coming for you, baby. Yeah. It's all poker.
No, I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, I haven't did that yet. I don't think.
There's a great video. You guys know Bruce Norris?
Oh yeah,
Bruce Norris?
Come on.
There's a wonderful video. Years and years and years ago, I took a workshop, a flipping workshop with him. A lot of things I still actually use. But one of the videos he showed us was him at an auction. And Bruce used to talk of the term capitulation.
Capitulation, of
essentially,
course.
essentially, that's when there's no buyers, and the auction, the homes are literally being given away because no one's there to buy. Okay,
You want a BOGO?
yeah, and it's just part of our capitalist society.
Yeah,
so that's going to happen again.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
So Bruce had a video of an on-site auction at a tract of homes out in Hemet, and he bought all of them, and he was doing exactly what you're saying. It was
here.
1 penny more, 1 penny more,
right?
1 penny more,
it
1 penny more, and it upset everybody.
The opposite. Now, I hate to say this, some people live life, thinking that they're on top until they meet a guy like me.
Well, there you go.
Right? You and me are strategists.
Yeah. Well,
to be in the same room with you and me, you need to walk out.
Well.
Get out, because we're taking control.
And it's almost like we set it up that way.
Hello.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly
are you my eternal brother from somewhere?
I like it. From another mother.
I'm into that. You're like my brother Steve. He's straight up, but he's funny as hell. And I'm trying to get him into this stuff, and he just likes fishing.
Oh yeah.
He's
fishing
for deals. He's fishing to catch fish.
Fish.
He would fish in your.
I didn't know this.
Listen,
really?
He would fish in your bathtub to catch something, and you know what? He'd find something. I swear to God, Steve's a fisherman. So, I'm one of these days I want to make one of these deals happen, and then roll up with a big fishing boat.
That sounds
kind of like a 30-footer. Are you listening, Steve?
You need 40. You need a 40-footer. Come on,
40-footer, right?
Exactly.
Hey, it's only $30,000. Who cares? It's only money, right?
There you go.
It is what it is. But you know what? You and me fish for deals all the time. Our brains don't stop.
And you can't.
You
can't.
Wow,
I can't stop
I like
it.
that. You just
it.
put the period at the end of you can't.
I can't stop it.
I don't know what it is. So when I find out, I'll let you know. And if you find out, let me know.
Well, I don't
think I'll ever know.
I was speaking last night at a club meeting. There was about 75 of us, and these are guys that most of them have done deals. They're trying to figure out how to do more.
Yep.
But I told them, I said, all of you who haven't done a deal, you need to take your own home. Figure out how to purchase your own home and make a profit on it, because you already know most of the numbers. And I want you to lay it out on a yellow piece of paper. And then once you've done your home, I want you to do your mom's home. And then once you've done your mom's home, do the neighbors. And I've done that over and over and over and over again. I don't need a piece of paper. I can do it in my head.
In your head.
I can knock it out. I know the percentages. I know the numbers. And if I'm sitting here with you and you're saying to me, you know what, I'm really busy. I'd like to get out of this particular property. I can say, well, show me, what are the numbers?
What are the numbers?
And you'll tell me what the numbers are. And I can say, you know what? I can't do that. Maybe I could take over the debt. Maybe I could this. Maybe I could bring you on as the contractor. I'll come up with a plan.
I like that.
And it either works or it doesn't, but it's because I know the numbers backwards and forwards.
Right. You know what? You're like a friend of mine, Victor. He's kind of our partner. And I'll screw this saying up again. I do it all the time, Steve. And I got to get a shirt. Carne del con hueso. And that means in Spanish, meat on the bone.
Well, there you go.
If the deal's got some meat, I'm interested. Yeah. And I'm not just interested in, a quick 50. If I can do a hundo, talk to me. Yeah, let's find a way to get to that finish line and fast.
Well, the money, the limited capital that everyone has, it doesn't matter if we're doing $100 million deals or $100,000 deals. You have a limit to the amount of capital you can bring to the table, and I want to maximize my opportunities with what little capital I have at risk, and the least I can risk, the higher rate of return I'm going to get.
And you might do a better ARV on something that turns it around so you can get more. Hey, listen, I've seen houses that were selling, you get the comps. I see it all the time. The comps. I hate comps. Comps are weird to me, right? And I told this one guy, I says, listen, if I'm going to sell something for 1.1 million, I want 1.3. But you know how I'm going to get that? Forget the comps. The comps are only for people that borrow money.
Yes.
Right? The banks go, well, let me see here, Bob. 1.1 million. It's got an extra toilet, but it's only worth 1.1. Bob wants a house really bad. Bob's going to dig deep inside and pull out that 200K if he wants this beautiful house with a chandelier and everything else, the 3D paint and the kitchen that looks spectacular. And the wife won't leave the house now.
Absolutely.
Honey, I want to buy it. Let's get it, right? So they figure out a way to get it. Do you not?
Of course they do.
You do it every day with cars.
Of course.
I deal with comic books. And Steve does it with trolls and stuff like that. So everybody has their boiling point and what they're willing to do. And if somebody has the means to do it, tell me if I'm wrong. Honestly. Straight up tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm selling something for 1.1 and I want to make an extra 100,000, but when you look at the property, you're going to go ahead and finance this 1.1 because it's easier to use other people's money.
Absolutely.
But if you have a couple 100,000 and your wife's really begging to get it, would you consider spending that $100,000?
Well, absolutely, I would, and I think what ends up happening is when you produce a product that multiple people want, and every flip I ever did, I knew exactly who the buyer was going to be.
Nice. Okay?
And I built it for them. And in doing so, when just like with me, if there was a particular watch, or with you with your signatures and your cards and everything else, if I had them, I would know. Now I would know you're the person I need to go to, and I just have to find out what it is you want.
Your buttons to push.
There you go, the buttons to push.
Right.
Recently we did. Well, I say recently, it's been a couple of years now. Right at the end of COVID, we ended up selling the property, but I knew this was going to sell to an out-of-state person because it was in Riverside. Where we built a ground up.
You're clairvoyant?
Oh, well, there you go.
I like that.
It was a ground up property. And I saw a bunch of modern designs in Hollywood, in Beverly Hills. I really liked the flat roofs. I like the look.
I dig that
and I'm building the house. It's a 19,000 square foot lot. I wanted to do.
So you're doing that somewhere else, right?
So I did that at this one location, knowing full well that this section of Riverside, it's Corona actually.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called El Cerrito. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
And it's a nice part of town, but it's certainly not the best
Beverly
part of
Hills,
town.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I bid off a lot. I put a beautiful home that probably wouldn't have been built there by anyone that's
itself,
local.
right.
Exactly. And sure enough, a man from Dallas, Texas, who just had sold a company and he was looking for a Southern California location, he saw it.
He had to have it.
And I did everything I possibly could. In the day he came to look at the property, we had a problem with the electrical and there was no lights. And we had exterior lights. We had water features. We had all this stuff on it. And he didn't see it, but he was able to look at it. And just like the person I'm talking about, I knew this was going to be the buyer.
Yep.
He offered me $1.2 million on a property that before COVID I thought would sell for $8 million. So it was a massive windfall. Everyone won, but I brought everything I possibly could to the fire, and because of that, I got a reward for it.
And it looked bitchin'.
Oh man, it was awesome.
So you put a little bit more money into it, and you got more than you expected because it satisfied the right buyer.
There you go.
Am I right?
There you go.
So forget about these banks. Oh, we can only give you 1.1 million. That's fine. Finance that part. But if you really want it, dig deep, and I can kind of help you get in there.
Yeah. There's a wonderful video that demonstrates this from Grant Cardone. He owned a really nice piece of property in the Bird Streets in Beverly Hills. And the value of that property was, he said, between $8 and $11 million. And that was the comps. I love the comps.
I hate those.
I'm air quoting the comps,
right.
okay? But Grant Cardone was smart enough to realize that it was a double lot, that this was a really superb location. And what he determined was the biggest problem he was going to having selling the property for $16 million.
Wow.
Was the real estate agents.
Yeah,
he thought,
Jesus.
I can't get these guys to figure it out. So in the video I watched, he threw a party at the property and he invited 10 of the best real estate agents in town.
Smart as hell.
And they all ate each other up. Okay. It was a fight, a really great fight. And he ended up picking this guy. who convinced himself that yes, this property is worth $16 million because of it's got this view and it's got this and it's got that and everything else. And they ended up selling it to some out-of-town multi-billionaire.
His book of business, he called up and said, cha-ching.
There you go. And
he made reality happen.
This was pre Grant Cardone and the company he operates now. But he says, I've heard him in other videos basically say that the capital he made from that product, he bought, I don't remember what the number was. I think it's in the 200s. He bought a book of 200 single family residents.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
that
Sweet,
he still makes the income on that extra money, and that's
long-term rentals, baby.
And that income is what allows him to go out and say, "I'm going to spend $50 million on a jet," or I'm going to do
a TED talk on rubber baby buggy bumpers.
There you go.
Whatever he wants. He created his own freedom.
Absolutely.
And it was just an idea. Am I right?
Well, not only that, he's the only one. He would have, if he would have called and got a comp, and they would have said, "Oh, this is a nice house, $11 million." The extra $5 million over the rest of his life, I'll bet you it probably has $1 billion worth of equity connected to it. I'm talking about at the end of his life.
You know what?
Just because of $5 million extra.
I like that. That's smart as hell.
Exactly.
Bring in 5 or 6 realtors.
Oh, yeah.
And say, listen, everybody. We want 1.3, but I might let it go for 1.29. So come on in, bring your book of business, and let me help you make a lot of commission at the sale. Yeah, right?
It was really
smart
fantastic.
as hell, man.
Yeah, I loved it.
Jim Keller, I can't thank you enough, man. You're the epitome of doing it right, man. You are the guy that. I think you might be my paternal twin.
I like
How old are you now?
I'm
35.
I'm 15. Actually, I'm 17 in the head. I'm 17 in the head.
Right? Come on.
God says I'm 59. But
I just turned. I'm 62. I'll be 63 in January, and I can tell you this, man. You and I are plugged in. You and I are energy. You and I are going to do some business.
I like it.
Hello.
I like it. And don't you just love the day? I mean, come on. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you can't stop. I just can't stop.
You can't. I'm breathing. I'm having fun. Steve is here. I got my favorite troll. This is actually from 1972.
Oh, really?
It's stupid. Everything in it is like antique. It's crazy.
Everything but Steve. He's young and virile and handsome.
He's 35, man. I'm telling you. You know what, Jim? I can't thank you enough, man. Your energy. Thank you. I knew the universe was going to throw somebody at me. And besides Steve being the guy that hits a ball out of the park every time.
Don't I bring in some good speakers
come on.
here?
Come on. We have a plethora of speakers. And you and me are going to go places.
Beautiful.
I've never been to New York.
Oh, it was
Central Park or Empire State Building?
It was all of those.
Really?
Ground Zero.
How long?
I was just gone for 9 days.
It
was it was really nice. It was the wife, and we got to see the kids.
I've been to Mexico, California, Catalina,
really?
and Jamaica on a sales trip, and that's it.
I'm a blessed man. I've been to
South
Africa.
I took a motorhome to Georgia.
Oh, really?
South Africa?
I went to South Africa.
Did you see lions and
6 days.
zebras?
6 days of safaris.
Get out of here! You and Rob got to talk. He almost got eaten by a werewolf. I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there, Steve. Everything.
I was going to say. I think that was Steve. Are you sure?
Anyways, I'm getting you a cape, man. You're gonna be. I'm gonna get this wall made up, Steve. We got a hydrant and 5 foot coming.
I like it.
We're gonna do all these things, and I want to work a couple of deals with you, man. Maybe we can partner up and make some of these things happen. And if we need money, who are we going to, Steve?
Right here.
You got to give your little shout out to your company now.
Yeah. So it's Peak Finance and senior loan officer over there. We do everything from conventional, FHA, VA, but we specialize in our niche products. Right now, I just approved a guy. He's buying a primary residence for around $1 million.
Nice.
And the great thing about it is we got him approved for the loan with absolutely no money down or out of pocket.
Wait a minute. That's impossible.
No, it's not.
It's Steve. That's what it is. Do you feel his energy?
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
So
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Steve-O.
Yeah, it took a lot of convincing for the listing agent to accept his offer over other competing offers.
Imagine that.
Once we explained how we were going to do it, he was good with it, and we the trick was not having him come in with any money out of his pocket. So he's self-employed.
Oh, boy. $1 million, man.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
we didn't use any tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, just bank
blood?
statements.
Blood, bone marrow?
No.
Oh.
Just 12 months of bank statements. And the thing that helped him out, he had a second home. Doesn't have a primary residence, but he does have a second home. And we did a bridge loan on the second home as his down payment for this primary residence.
OPM, right, Steve-O?
Exactly.
And now he's got his $1 million house.
So that's the thing. So if it's a mobile home, we can finance with as little as 5% down in a park or
You'll
on
even
land.
finance land. It's crazy.
We do some
you do it all,
land
Steve.
Financing. So a lot of what we call DSCR loans, debt service coverage ratio loans, where you could be buying or refinancing an investment property.
Will you finance my collectibles? Just kidding. That's next.
And we'll go ahead.
I love it,
You don't
man.
have to provide anything but good credit, some reserves, and a down payment if it's a purchase, and we'll get you into the house at a great rate, and you'll be very happy.
So Steve, if people want to get a hold of you, what do they got to do?
Yeah, well, first thing, go to my website. It'll have all my licenses and disclosures. My website address is financialbrokers.net. That's financialbrokers.net. Brokers is plural. And you could
telephone number, Steve-O?
Our phone number is 562-818-3502. That's 562-818-3502. So check me out. Go to my website and see what we can do to help you out in financing your next venture.
You know what, man? Steve Lazerson is in the house, Peak Finance. He's got it all, and financialbrokers.net. That's where they get a hold of you, right, Steve?
That's right.
Thank you, man. I love you. You know that, right?
I know.
I got to get the cape. You doing the cape next time,
We'll
man.
have
I'm
the
telling
cape.
you.
And the
And then the
man.
next
love
time
fest
you
in
come
here.
back,
I love it.
there's going to be a hydrant, 5 foot of hose.
I can't wait.
And we're going to get you, I think you deserve like a samurai suit.
Ooh,
with that big, huge samurai sword. Remember Tom
a
Cruise?
katana. I love it,
Oh,
man.
the katana. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, thank you, man, for showing up and giving us some of your insight. And you've given me a lot more enthusiasm.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for saying that. And vice versa. I got to make sure I give you my card before you go.
Yeah.
Let's become really good partners. And I guarantee you the remaining part of our life, what is that, 100 years left or something like that?
I've got that in me.
I got that in me too. So maybe we can do something and send it on its way. What do you think?
Oh, I like it.
Okay, man. Hey, thanks everybody for hanging out with us today. We are the Energy Hour Podcast. Today is July 11th, 2024, and we will end the show with our sponsors. Thanks for listening, everybody. I got to click on the thing. Sorry, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to qhiinc.com/TEO. That's qhiinc.com/TEO.
Capture the joyful magic of the holiday season with Virtual Santa. Virtual Santa is a high-definition projection effect that walks, waves, laughs, eats cookies, and puts presents under the tree. From outside, it's so real, you swear Santa's in your house. Virtual Santa, originally seen on ABC's The Great Christmas Light Fight. You can choose from traditional virtual Santa or new African American Santa. Holiday effects include virtual Santa, Mrs. Claus, Santa's workshop with Christmas elves, and so much more. Buy one effect or a bundle. Available in HD DVD, digital download, or USB flash drive. Also available in LED projection bundles. For a winning Christmas display that will delight your neighbors young and old, visit us at virtualsanta.com and become known as the house where Santa lives. Virtual Santa, where holiday spirit begins.
This podcast is brought to you by Aliva Digital Marketing, lead generation and SEO for local businesses. Increase your web presence with their results in advanced strategy, including a video website audit and analysis for free. Listeners of this podcast can get 75% off Aliva's fees. But hurry, only the first 5 businesses that inquire can get this deal. Aliva Digital Marketing, a proud sponsor of this podcast. Online at alivadigital.com.
Solaria. Beauty, efficiency, and power. For nearly 20 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Redefining home solar. Solaria's high-output solar panels deliver maximum energy production in a streamlined, all-black design that complements your home's architectural style with more than 20% more energy per square meter than traditional solar panels. Solaria's advanced Power XT panels pack maximum power into minimum space for industrial leading efficiency. Enjoy clean, reliable power day in and day out, backed by our 25-year warranty. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Quality you can trust for your home and business. For more information, go to qhinc.com/Solaria.